There will always be people in this world who misunderstand you. There will always be people who judge you without knowing your story, criticize you without knowing your struggles, and sometimes even try to harm you for reasons that have nothing to do with you. Many people spend their lives trying to avoid enemies, avoid criticism, and avoid hardship. But the Buddha taught a different path. He taught that true peace does not come from controlling the world around us. True peace comes from mastering the world within us. Imagine a quiet forest in the middle of the night. Dark clouds gather overhead.
The light of wisdom
Strange shadows
shines
move among the
forevermore.
trees. Fear seems to come from every direction. This is how life often feels when we are facing hostility, betrayal, or injustice. The natural reaction of the human mind is to fight back. When someone insults us, we want to insult them in return. When someone hurts us, we want them to suffer as we have suffered. When someone spreads darkness, we are tempted to answer with more darkness. But have you ever noticed that anger never truly solves anger? Fire does not extinguish fire. Hatred does not destroy hatred. Darkness does not remove darkness. Only light can do that. The Buddha understood this truth more deeply than anyone. Throughout his life, he encountered opposition, mockery, false accusations, and countless attempts to disturb his peace. Yet he never allowed the actions of others to determine the condition of his heart. Why? Because he knew something that many people forget. No one can place anger inside your mind without your permission. No one can force hatred into your heart unless you choose to carry it. The greatest freedom is not freedom from enemies. The greatest freedom is freedom from becoming like your enemies. Think about this carefully. When someone throws mud at a mountain, the mountain remains unmoved. When someone shouts at the sky does not become angry. When a storm strikes the ocean, eventually the water becomes calm again. Nature teaches us wisdom every day. Strength is not found in reacting. Strength is found in remaining centered. Many people believe that peace comes when all problems disappear. The Buddha taught that peace comes when wisdom becomes greater than the problems. Imagine a lotus flower. It grows in muddy water. The dirt surrounds it completely. Yet the flower rises above the mud and blossoms beautifully. It does not complain about the mud. It does not fight the mud. It simply grows beyond it. This is the path of the awakened mind. When others act with greed, choose generosity. When others act with hatred, choose compassion. When others act with ignorance, choose wisdom. In doing so, you rise above the darkness instead of becoming part of it. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most are the people we once trusted. Their actions leave wounds that seem difficult to heal. We replay their words in our minds. We revisit painful memories. We imagine conversations that never happened. And slowly, without realizing it, we allow those experiences to steal our inner peace. The Buddha invited us to ask an important question: who suffers more? The person who threw the arrow, or the person who keeps pulling the arrow out and pushing it back into the wound every single day? Many of our deepest sufferings come not from the original event, but from our attachment to it. We keep carrying what should have been released. We keep feeding what should have been allowed to fade away. This does not mean we ignore injustice. This does not mean we allow harmful behavior. Wisdom is not weakness. Compassion is not surrender. The Buddha never taught people to become victims. He taught people to become free. There is a difference. Freedom means protecting your peace without carrying hatred. Freedom means setting boundaries without becoming bitter. Freedom means walking away from negativity without losing your kindness. A truly strong person is not the one who can defeat 1,000 enemies. A truly strong person is the one who can master a single angry mind. And that angry mind is often our own. As you travel through life, you will encounter many forms of darkness. Some darkness comes from
The
others.
light will fade.
Some darkness comes from fear.
Embrace the void.
Some darkness comes from doubt.
You cannot save
Some
them
darkness
all.
comes from disappointment. Yet the greatest lesson of the Buddha is this: darkness is never permanent. No matter how long the night may seem, the sun eventually rises. No matter how fierce the storm becomes, the sky eventually clears. No matter how powerful negativity appears, it cannot survive forever in the presence of genuine wisdom. That is why the Buddha remained calm, even when
May
surrounded
all
by chaos.
beings find
His
their
power
peace.
did not come from weapons. His power did not come from force. His power came from clarity. He understood that every hateful action begins in a confused mind. Every act of cruelty begins in a heart that has lost its way. People who are truly at peace do not seek to create suffering. People who are truly fulfilled do not enjoy harming others. When someone acts with malice, they are revealing their own inner pain. This understanding does not excuse their behavior, but it allows us to see beyond it. Instead of seeing only an enemy, we begin to see a human being trapped by their own ignorance. And something remarkable happens. Compassion begins to replace anger. Understanding begins to replace judgment. Wisdom begins to replace reaction. This is how light enters the darkness, not through force, not through revenge, but through awareness. Every challenge you face can become a teacher. Every insult can teach patience. Every betrayal can teach discernment. Every hardship can strengthen your character. The Buddha did not become enlightened because life was easy. He became enlightened because he learned how to remain peaceful when life was difficult. That same possibility exists within you. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be fearless. You do not need to control everything around you. You only need to keep returning to the light within, again and again, breath by breath, moment by moment. And as that inner light grows stronger, you will discover
The
something
light of
beautiful.
wisdom shines
The people who once
forevermore.
tried to shake your peace will no longer have power over your heart. The storms will still come. The challenges will still appear. But like a mountain standing beneath the sky, you will remain grounded. Like a lotus rising above muddy waters, you will continue to bloom. Like the Buddha surrounded by darkness yet radiating compassion, you will learn that the greatest victory is not conquering others. The greatest victory is conquering yourself. There is a moment in every person's life when they realize that not every battle is meant to be fought. Some battles drain your energy. Some battles steal your peace. Some battles keep you trapped in a cycle of anger, frustration, and disappointment. The Buddha taught that wisdom is knowing the difference between what deserves your attention and what deserves your release. Many people spend years trying to change others. They try to convince, argue, defend, and prove themselves. Yet the more they struggle, the more exhausted they become. Why? Because peace cannot be found by controlling another person's mind. Peace can only be found by understanding your own. Imagine carrying a heavy stone on your shoulders every day. At first, it feels manageable. But as time passes, the burden grows heavier. Your body becomes tired. Your spirit becomes weary. Eventually, you forget what it feels like to walk freely. This is what resentment does to the heart. Every grudge becomes another stone. Every old wound becomes another weight. Every act of revenge adds another chain. And before long, the prison we live in is not built by others. It is built by our own attachment to pain. The Buddha saw this clearly. He understood that suffering often continues because we keep feeding it. We replay painful memories. We repeat stories of betrayal. We revisit moments of injustice again and again, as if somehow thinking about them long enough will change the past. But the past cannot be changed. Only our relationship with it can change. This is where true freedom begins, not when the past disappears, but when its power over us disappears. There is a beautiful teaching that says, holding on to anger is like grasping a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first. Think about how much energy anger consumes. It steals your sleep, it steals your joy. It steals your attention from the people and experiences that truly matter. And yet the person you are angry with may not even know. They continue living their life while you continue carrying the burden. The Buddha invites us to ask, who benefits from this suffering? Who grows stronger because of this resentment? Who becomes wiser because of this hatred? The answer is simple, no one. That is why letting go is not a gift for the other person. It is a gift for yourself. Forgiveness does not mean saying that what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness means refusing to let the injury define your future. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than the mistakes others made. You are more than the pain you have experienced. Within you exists something deeper, something untouched, something pure. The Buddha called this the awakened nature of the mind, a place beyond fear, beyond hatred, beyond bitterness. A place where wisdom can shine. The challenge is that many people spend their lives searching for peace outside themselves. They believe peace will come when everyone agrees with them, when everyone treats them fairly, when every problem is solved. But life rarely unfolds that way. There will always be difficult people. There will always be uncertainty.
Light will fade.
There will always be challenges.
Embrace the void.
The question is not whether difficulties will appear.
Save them all.
The question is how you will meet them. Will you meet them with fear or with courage? Will you meet them with anger or with understanding? Will you meet them with darkness or with light? Every day offers a new choice, and every choice shapes the person you become. The Buddha compared the mind to a garden. Whatever you water will grow. If you water anger, anger grows. If you water fear, fear grows. If you water compassion, compassion grows. If you water wisdom, wisdom grows. The seeds are already there. Your attention determines which ones flourish. When someone harms you, the easiest response is anger. Almost anyone can do that. But responding with wisdom requires awareness. Responding with compassion requires strength. Responding with patience requires mastery. That is why these qualities are so powerful. Anyone can be kind when life is easy. The real test comes when life becomes difficult. The real test comes when you are misunderstood, when you are criticized, when you are treated unfairly. Can you still remain true to your values? Can you still protect your peace? Can you still choose kindness without becoming weak? The Buddha's life provides the answer. Again and again, he faced opposition. Again and again, he encountered negativity. Yet he never abandoned compassion. Not because he was unaware of suffering, but because he understood suffering better than anyone. He knew that anger creates more anger, fear creates more fear. Violence creates more violence. But compassion has the power to break the cycle. Imagine lighting a candle in a dark room. The darkness may have existed for years, yet a single flame immediately changes the environment. The darkness does not need to be attacked. It simply disappears in the presence of light. The same principle applies to your life.
The light of wisdom
You do not need to
shines
fight every
forevermore.
shadow. You do not need to defeat every critic. You do not need to win every argument. Instead, focus on strengthening your inner light. Focus on developing patience. Focus on developing wisdom. Focus on developing compassion. The brighter your inner light becomes, the less influence negativity will have over you. Eventually, you begin to realize something extraordinary. The people who once seemed like obstacles become teachers. The difficulties that once seemed unbearable become opportunities for growth. The challenges that once filled you with fear become stepping stones toward wisdom. Nothing is wasted. Every experience can contribute to awakening if you are willing to learn from it. This does not happen overnight. Growth is gradual, like a tree, like a river, like the rising sun, day after day, moment after moment. Choice after choice, until one day you discover that the storms no longer control you. The criticism no longer defines you. The hatred no longer reaches you. Because something within you has become stronger than the darkness around you. And that strength is not aggression, it is not pride, it is not domination, it is peace. The kind of peace that remains steady when circumstances change. The kind of peace that remains calm when others become angry. The kind of peace that cannot be taken away because it was never dependent on the outside world. This is the treasure the Buddha pointed toward, not wealth, not power, not fame, but an unshakable heart. A heart that remains compassionate even when confronted by cruelty. A heart that remains wise even when surrounded by confusion. A heart that remains luminous even when the world appears dark. And when that heart awakens, you begin to understand that the greatest protection is not a wall around you. The greatest protection is the light within you. A light that no enemy can extinguish. A light that no storm can destroy. A light that grows brighter every time you choose wisdom over anger, compassion over revenge, and peace over fear. As we continue walking the path of life, we eventually discover a profound truth. The greatest battles are not fought in the outside world, they are fought within. The monsters we fear are often reflections of our own fears. The darkness we struggle against often reveals the darkness we have not yet understood inside ourselves. This is why the Buddha never focused on conquering others. He focused on awakening himself. Many people spend years trying to defeat external enemies. Yet they remain defeated by anxiety, defeated by anger, defeated by insecurity, defeated by endless craving. The Buddha showed a different way. He taught that true victory begins when we stop running from ourselves. When we become still enough to see clearly. When we become courageous enough to face what lies inside our own hearts. Imagine standing before a great storm. Thunder shakes the sky. Winds roar from every direction. Dark clouds seem endless. Most people focus on the storm. The Buddha focused on the sky behind the storm, because storms come and go, but the sky remains. Your thoughts are like storms. Your emotions are like storms. Your fears are like storms. They arise, they move, they disappear. But your deeper awareness remains. Many people mistakenly believe they are their anger. They believe they are their fear. They believe they are their pain. Yet these experiences are visitors. They come, they stay for a while, then they leave. The problem begins when we invite them to stay forever. The Buddha taught the practice of observing rather than becoming. Observe the anger, but do not become anger. Observe the fear.
light will fade.
But do not become fear. Observe
Embrace
the sadness,
void.
but do not become sadness.
You cannot save
The moment
them
you can
all.
witness an emotion, you are already greater than that emotion. This simple realization changes everything. Because once you stop identifying with every passing thought, you begin to discover a deeper stability, a deeper peace, a deeper freedom. Think about a mountain. Clouds move around it, rain falls upon it, snow covers it, strong winds strike it, yet the mountain remains. The awakened mind is like that mountain.
all
Life will bring
beings
challenges,
find
people
their
will disappoint
peace.
you, plans will fail. Unexpected hardships will appear. But beneath all of these changing experiences, there can exist a place of stillness. A place untouched by circumstances. The Buddha found that place. And he taught that every human being has access to it. This does not mean life becomes easy. Even enlightened beings encounter difficulties. Even wise people experience loss. Even compassionate people face criticism. The difference is how they respond. When ordinary people face darkness, they often become consumed by it. When awakened people face darkness, they become a source of light. This is why compassion is so powerful. Compassion is not merely being kind to people who are kind to you. that requires little effort. Real compassion appears when kindness seems difficult, when patience feels impossible, when forgiveness feels undeserved. That is when compassion becomes transformative. The Buddha understood that everyone carries invisible burdens. Every person you meet is fighting battles you cannot see. Some are carrying loneliness, some are carrying grief, some are carrying regret. Some are carrying fear, and many people spread suffering because suffering is all they know. They pass their pain from one person to another, like a torch of darkness being handed from generation to generation. The awakened person chooses not to continue the cycle. The awakened person becomes the place where the cycle ends. Imagine a river flowing through a valley. A branch falls into the water. The river does not become angry. A stone blocks part of its path. The river does not complain. Instead, it continues flowing, patiently, naturally, gracefully. This is the wisdom of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up. Acceptance means seeing reality clearly before deciding how to respond. Many people waste enormous amounts of energy arguing with reality. They say this should not have happened. That person should not have treated me this way. My life should be different. Yet reality remains unchanged by resistance. Wisdom begins when we stop fighting what already exists. Only then can we act skillfully. Only then can we move forward. The Buddha often taught that attachment is the root of suffering. We become attached to expectations, attached to outcomes, attached to how we think life should unfold. And when reality differs from our expectations, suffering arises. But what happens when we release attachment? What happens when we stop demanding that life follow our plans? Something remarkable occurs. We become flexible, we become resilient, we become free. A tree that refuses to bend during a storm may break. A tree that bends survives. Flexibility is not weakness, it is wisdom. The strongest people are often the most adaptable. They know how to remain calm during uncertainty. They know how to maintain hope during difficulty. They know how to continue moving forward when others become trapped by fear. This inner strength is not built in comfort. It is built through challenges. Every difficulty can strengthen you. Every obstacle can teach you. Every storm can prepare you. The Buddha did not avoid life's hardships. He transformed them into wisdom, and you can do the same. The next time you face criticism, let it teach humility. The next time you face disappointment, let it teach patience. The next time you face loss, let it teach gratitude. The next time you face fear, let it teach courage. Nothing needs to be wasted. Every experience can become fuel for growth. Every challenge can become a doorway to awakening. This is one of the greatest secrets of the spiritual path. The obstacles are not separate from the path. The obstacles are the path. The difficulties are the teachers. The storms are the training. The darkness reveals where the light is needed most. And with each challenge you overcome, something extraordinary happens. Your heart becomes stronger. Your wisdom becomes deeper. Your compassion becomes greater. Your peace becomes more stable. Slowly, you begin to understand why the Buddha never feared the darkness. Because he knew that darkness has no power of its own. It can only exist where light is absent. The moment light appears, darkness retreats. The moment awareness appears, ignorance retreats. The moment compassion appears, hatred retreats. The moment wisdom appears, fear retreats. This is the transformation available to every human being, not through force, not through domination, but through awakening. Through becoming fully present. Through discovering the light that has always existed within you. A light that grows brighter every time you choose understanding over judgment. A light that grows brighter every time you choose courage over fear. A light that grows brighter every time you choose love over hatred. And as that light continues to grow, you begin to realize that the greatest miracle is not changing the world around you. The greatest miracle is transforming the world within you. As the journey continues, the challenges may appear larger, the darkness may seem deeper, the storms may feel stronger.
Embrace the void.
There may come moments when you wonder if your
cannot
light is
save
enough.
them all.
Moments when you question your strength. Moments when the weight of the world feels almost impossible to carry. These are the moments that reveal who you truly are, not the moments of comfort, not the moments of success, but the moments when everything seems to stand against you. The Buddha understood this. Before enlightenment, he sat beneath the Bodhi tree and faced what many traditions describe as the greatest assault of darkness.
May all
Fear appeared.
beings find
Temptation
their peace.
appeared, doubt appeared, illusion appeared. Every force that could disturb the mind gathered around him. Yet he did not run, he did not fight, he did not surrender, he simply remained present. Completely present, and in that presence something extraordinary happened. The darkness lost its power, not because it was destroyed, but because it was understood. This is one of the deepest truths of the spiritual path. What we understand no longer controls us. What we face no longer terrifies us. What we illuminate can no longer remain hidden. Many people spend their lives running from fear. Yet fear grows stronger when we run. The Buddha turned toward fear. And by turning toward it, he discovered that fear was only a shadow. A shadow created by misunderstanding. A shadow created by attachment. A shadow created by forgetting our true nature. The same is true for all of us. Think about the fears you carry: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of loss, fear of being misunderstood, fear of not being enough. These fears often seem enormous. But if you look deeply, you may discover something surprising. They are stories. Stories repeated so often that they begin to feel real. Stories that limit your potential. Stories that prevent you from experiencing freedom. The awakened path is the process of seeing beyond these stories. The awakened path is remembering who you are beneath all the fear, beneath all the labels, beneath all the expectations, beneath all the pain. There exists something unbreakable within you, something that has been present since the beginning. The Buddha called it awareness, pure awareness. The silent witness behind every thought. The silent witness behind every emotion. The silent witness that remains unchanged while everything else changes. This awareness is like the sun. Clouds may cover it, storms may hide it. Night may temporarily obscure it. Yet the sun itself never disappears. Your true nature is the same. No matter what happens in your life, your deepest essence remains untouched. No criticism can damage it. No failure can diminish it. No loss can destroy it. The spiritual journey is not about becoming something new. It is about remembering what has always been there. As the Buddha's light expanded, the forces of darkness could no longer survive in its presence. And this is not merely a story about ancient times. It is a story about your life. Every day, darkness appears in different forms: anger, jealousy, fear, resentment, self-doubt. These are the modern demons that challenge the human heart. And every day you are given a choice. Will you feed the darkness? Or will you strengthen the light? Every act of kindness strengthens the light. Every moment of forgiveness strengthens the light. Every choice rooted in compassion strengthens the light. Every step taken with wisdom strengthens the light. This is how transformation happens. Not through a single dramatic moment, but through thousands of small choices. A kind word when anger feels easier. A patient response when frustration feels justified. A compassionate action when judgment feels natural. These moments may seem small, but they shape your destiny. Over time, your character becomes your refuge. Your wisdom becomes your guide. Your compassion becomes your strength. And your peace becomes your greatest treasure. Eventually, you begin to understand something profound. The purpose of life is not to avoid challenges. The purpose of life is to awaken through them. Every difficulty carries a lesson. Every hardship contains an opportunity. Every obstacle hides a gift. The gift may not be visible immediately, but it is there, waiting to be discovered. This is why the Buddha could smile, even in the presence of adversity. He understood that every challenge was part of a greater awakening. Nothing was separate from the path. Everything belonged. The victories belonged. The losses belonged. The joys belonged. The sorrows belonged. The light belonged, and even the darkness belonged. Because without darkness, we would never learn the value of light. Without struggle, we would never discover our strength. Without confusion, we would never seek wisdom. Without suffering, we might never awaken. And so, as this journey comes to an end, remember this. You are stronger than you think. You are wiser than you know. You are more resilient than you realize. Within you exists the same potential that existed within the Buddha. The potential to remain calm in chaos. The potential to remain compassionate in a world of anger. The potential to remain peaceful in the midst of uncertainty. The potential to become a light for others. There will still be storms. There will still be challenges. There will still be moments of doubt. But now you know something important. The light is greater, always greater. No matter how long the night appears, dawn eventually arrives. No matter how fierce the storm becomes, the sky eventually clears. No matter how powerful darkness may seem, it can never overcome a single light that refuses to go out, and that light is within you, right now. In this very moment, waiting to be trusted, waiting to be nurtured, waiting to shine, so walk forward with courage, walk forward with wisdom. Walk forward with compassion. Let your presence bring peace where there is conflict. Let your words bring hope where there is fear. Let your actions bring kindness where there is suffering. Become the light you have been searching for. Because the world does not need more anger. The world does not need more division. The world does not need more fear. The world needs more awakened hearts, more compassionate minds, more courageous souls. And perhaps beginning today, that light can start with you. Just as the Buddha sat unmoved while darkness gathered around him, may you remain steady through every challenge. Just as the Buddha radiated compassion when confronted by fear, may you radiate kindness in difficult times. Just as the Buddha transformed darkness into light, may you transform every hardship into wisdom. And may you always remember, the greatest victory is not over another person. The greatest victory is over ignorance. The greatest victory is over fear. The greatest victory is over the darkness within. When that victory is achieved, nothing can truly defeat you. For the light of awakening is stronger than any storm, stronger than any enemy, stronger than any darkness. And that light now and always lives within you.